Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're diving into handling rejection in conversations gracefully, that tricky subject we all face sometimes.
I'm excited for this discussion. It's such a relatable topic.
Right, rejection, whether it's a cold text or a dismissed idea, it feels like a personal blow. It really gets
Mm,
under your skin.
yeah, it's almost like every little no stings more than it perhaps should.
Exactly. And the podcast lays out that rejection feels so strong because it seems personal, even if really it's not always about you.
That makes sense. Sometimes it's just the timing or even the other person's mood, right?
Absolutely. The idea is that rejection is often situational. For instance, someone might not respond to your message not because they don't value you, but because they're simply busy or distracted. Um, it's like the context plays a huge role.
Yeah. But wouldn't you say that sometimes it feels like it's too easy to dismiss rejection as just situational? I mean, what about when it does actually sting, regardless of the situation?
I see your point. Yeah, it can be tricky to separate the two. However, the approach here is to help us not internalize every repercussion as a reflection on our worth. It's that balancing act where you see the event as just one moment in a wider context.
Right, like if your idea gets shut down in a meeting, it's more about that moment than a verdict on who you are.
Exactly. And speaking of that moment, the podcast really emphasizes the importance of staying composed. Imagine if, when faced with rejection, you immediately show frustration or anger. It ends up impacting your confidence even more.
So the idea is to keep a cool head, like taking a deep breath before you react in that instant when things go south.
Yes, and it specifically gives a neat example. If your idea is rejected in a meeting, simply stating, "That's fair, I understand your point," shows a lot of maturity.
I really appreciate that practical tip. It shifts the focus from defense to understanding, a real game changer in stressful environments.
Agreed. And then there's this whole notion about not chasing approval after getting rejected. Trying too hard um, to explain or justify your ideas can make you come off as insecure.
Yeah, true, it's like when someone keeps trying to convince you even after a clear no, it really undermines your stance.
Yeah, exactly. It detracts from your confidence. Sometimes less is more, and you just have to um, let the rejection be what it is and then move on.
But also, isn't it useful to learn from the situation? I mean, there's a fine line between not chasing approval and actively reflecting on whether there was something to improve upon.
Absolutely. And that's the next segment, using rejection as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, is there something I can improve? Like, was it timing, delivery, or clarity? That reflection can spur real growth.
Right. Sure, it's like every no carries a hidden lesson if you're willing to look for it.
Exactly. But the podcast warns against overthinking too, about replaying the rejection repeatedly in your head, which can really drain your energy.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. Obsessing over what I might have done wrong. That cycle can be brutal.
And that's why it advises to just let it go and move forward. Sum it up. Don't let overanalysis stall you.
Mm. It's like when you keep turning a stone over and over. It can overcomplicate something that might just be a minor bump.
Right, which leads us to building emotional resilience. The more you experience rejection, the stronger you become, almost like building a muscle. It starts off tough, then gets easier over time.
You could say it's a workout for your emotional strength, repeated resistance training for your confidence.
That's a fun analogy. Yeah, it definitely reinforces that every rejection is just another rep to eventually make you stronger.
And it goes hand in hand with the idea of just keep showing up. One rejection isn't a permanent mark on your ability to communicate.
Exactly. It's vital to continue engaging, keep speaking your mind, and not let a single no stand in the way of your voice.
I like that. It's encouraging, reminding you that each interaction can be a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block.
Totally. And perhaps the most essential point, separating your self value from the outcome of a conversation. Your worth isn't determined by one person's opinion. That message is so
Right.
empowering.
Absolutely, because if you let external outcomes define you, you're basically handing over the reins of your self-esteem to others.
Exactly, and that's a trap we all have to watch out for. When you realize that rejection is just one outcome, not a measure of your overall value, you gain a lot of freedom.
I totally agree. Although I do think sometimes it's easier said than done, especially in high stress situations.
True, it's not always a walk in the park. There are moments where our inner critic is loud. But practicing these techniques, staying composed, reflecting rather than overthinking, and building resilience, helps temper that inner voice over time.
Yeah. And I guess it's about making a habit of it, right? Like each experience, regardless of how small, adds up.
Exactly, it's cumulative. Every time you handle rejection with calm and respect, you're training yourself to handle future situations better.
This podcast really packs a lot of practical advice. It demystifies rejection by breaking it down into these manageable steps.
Yes, and it reminds us that rejection, while deeply personal in feeling, is often not a reflection of our true worth. It's a natural, even necessary part of communicating and growing.
Mm, well said. And remember, every conversation, whether it goes as planned or not, is simply part of the journey towards becoming a better communicator and a stronger self.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining this engaging chat on handling rejection gracefully. Keep showing up and remember, your value stays constant no matter the outcome.
For sure. Until next time, keep engaging, stay strong, and be kind to yourself and others.